In the top stories, cost reduced for 9-day quarantine at Ocean Terrace Inn. Local physician speaks on the process of vaccine production, and Tourism Ministry hosts training for CFBC students. The details to these stories and more after the break.
In your formative years, we were there. When you got the good news and the bad, we were right there with you. Through all your great adventures, we were always right by your side. Now that life has thrown us a curveball, we are still here. And as we navigate this difficult period, the SKCCU will continue to be there for you and your family to help you through. We will assist you in safely and efficiently accessing your funds through our digital platforms, online banking, mobile banking, ATMs, and even our drive-through services. We can get through this together with responsible financial decisions by making food and medication a priority, practicing proper hygiene, maintaining social distancing, and constant prayer.
We're here for you.
We're still here.
We will get through this together.
SKCCU will continue to be your financial partner for life.
Without limits, happy and free. The skin you're in with no apology. The one to seize the day. Grab an LLB. Live, love, be. With LLB. Live, love, be. Live, love, be. Be who you know you can be. Grab an LLB. Live, love, be. Angostura, lemon, lime, and bitters. Live, love, be.
Hey, man, I just can't believe that.
Yo, sweet boy, what you really crying for?
Why you see me crying, boy? My man crying. I just see her thinking about that girl. I think she cheating on me, you know.
You lie.
Boy, for real. A couple of weeks ago, right? She come telling me how I'm too sweet and that I just make she belly roll and I got her thighs rubbing. What is that?
No, man.
But yes. Look, she tell me, right, that we need some time apart. To be honest, I wasn't too concerned about that because you know how the girls and them, they're addicted to me sweetness. But then, I see she the other day. And the girl looking so good, looking so fresh and so lean.
Boy, you sure she addicted to you?
But yes. But wait. Look at here. Come. Hide. Boy, come hide now. Oh, I can't believe, but is that what going on? Really? Why you got to say for yourself?
Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell your body you're sweet enough. Drink some water, share some love. Tell somebody, hey.
Trustworthy, secure, reliable, and responsive. These are just some of the words customers use to describe their experience with the Bank of Nevis Limited. And after 35 years of delivering excellent customer service and honoring our corporate social responsibilities in the island of Nevis, we are finally coming to St. Kitts. Come and experience why we're not just another option. We are the standard. Bond strong.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I'm Jason Davis. Travelers to St. Kitts and Nevis who submit a negative RT-PCR COVID-19 test and are fully vaccinated will be paying reduced quarantine costs if they stay at the Ocean Terrace Inn. That's according to Chairman of the National COVID-19 Task Force, Abdias Samuel. He was speaking at the National Emergency Operations Center, or NEOC, COVID-19 briefing on Wednesday.
At the Ocean Terrace Inn will now pay $320 for the duration of the 9-day stay. Again, I advise persons going to the Ocean Terrace Inn, that's the OTI in quarantine facility, they will now pay $320 for the 9 days of quarantine.
On April 27, Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris announced that effective May 1, fully vaccinated inbound air travelers are required to quarantine for 9 days, down from 14. The decision was made based on advice from health experts. Samuel said the overall cost will be appropriately adjusted as a result of the reduced time frame. According to information out of government headquarters, the reduced fee is in keeping with the average cost per day of quarantine charged at the TDC-owned hotel. It equates to about $35 per day. The option is the most affordable quarantine package in St. Kitts, as the cost of electricity, water, and security are subsidized by the government. The stages of vaccine creation has been a hot topic recently, with the development and administration of several COVID-19 vaccines around the world. During this week's edition of Working For You, local doctor Cuthbert Sebastian Jr. explained the process, one which is done in at least 3 phases.
Usually, a body or a scientific body would invent, let's say, a vaccine, and then they would carry it out through clinical trials. 3 phases of clinical trials where they test the vaccine for safety. They test it to see if it's actually doing what it's supposed to do, whether it works, and they will test that in first a few humans, and then, no, first they'll test it in the lab, then a few humans, and then the large bodies of humans, tens of thousands of people, to see if it's safe and effective and it's actually working. And this is how they go about doing that.
He said vaccination rollout is heavily dependent on constant funding and approval from authoritative bodies such as the World Health Organization or the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Well, for one, to actually create a vaccine itself, it doesn't take that long of a time. It can literally take a few weeks to a few months to actually create the vaccine. But to the actual approval process would take some time, regarding whether they have enough money to fund the research, to begin the research on the vaccine. That is a whole topic unto itself.
According to the World Health Organization website, demand for vaccines continues to grow and is expected to reach billions of doses from late 2021 into 2022. The site says estimated global demand for vaccines for 2019 totaled 5.5 billion doses. On Friday, the Ministry of Tourism wrapped up 3 days of training sessions for students at the Clarence Fitzroy Brant College. The sessions aimed to supplement what's being taught at the college with real-life experiences on the ground in the tourism sector, covering topics such as developing a small business, community tourism initiatives, and tour guiding techniques. According to Executive Director of the Tourism Events Unit, Alistair Williams, it all began when the college approached them to host an intern as part of requirements for graduation. However, due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, the ministry had to change its approach.
We recognized then that our operations would not be 100%, and operations meaning the tourism plant. As you know, tourism was one of the industry that were hard hit by COVID. And so we decided, you know, in order to supplement what we can teach them here at the Ministry of Tourism, why not put on a workshop where we can expose them to some of the programs, some of the activities that we have been undertaking in support of the rebuilding of tourism as we move forward.
He described the sessions as a success and said they hope to make them an annual event and build on them in the future.
Even though we were asked to host one in turn, we decided that, you know, we threw out the invitation for the school to invite other students to come to the workshop, and we felt that it worked very well. So we believe that going forward, it is something that we can collaborate perhaps with our sister agency, the SKTA, and some of the other stakeholders to do a real well-rounded program as we go forward.
Meanwhile, the students themselves said they are happy with the experience, describing it as eye-opening.
I am from Nevis, so getting to know St. Kitts better is good because I feel a lot of Nevisians don't know their sister island and vice versa. St. Kitts people don't really know Nevis as well. So it's a good experience to learn historical sites in St. Kitts.
It's very interesting, actually, learn a lot. I'm a Dominican and I didn't know so much about St. Kitts, and I learned a lot of different places and things I could do, and it opened my eyes a lot that here actually have a lot to see.
And one of the highlights of the sessions was a course on etiquette, both theory and practical, and that course was held at the Eco Park on Thursday. After the break, slip lanes being installed at Bird Rock to ease traffic congestion, and Minister Grant interviewed on Deco Drive out of Miami. Stay with us.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your national bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
I wish I knew how to do that. Me too.
Thinking of what to do this Mother's Day?
Boys, put on your shoes. I have a treat for you.
How about you make it a family experience?
But Mommy, where's the treat?
I'm going to teach you how to bake.
With messes and memories. When you shop safe and smart at Value Mart.
Flow Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation, and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Welcome back. Traffic congestion is expected to be reduced in Bird Rock soon with the introduction of slip lanes to facilitate the commissioning of traffic lights there. Mervan Thompson has the details.
Roadworks continue along the island main road of St. Kitts, and in the Bird Rock area, members of the Public Works Department are hard at work creating 2 slip lanes and 2 islands to ease congestion. ZIZ News spoke to Zeke Hazel, engineer at the Public Works Department, who gave us details of the construction.
We are currently creating what we call 2 slip lanes, one leading from Bird Rock towards the Bay Road, the other from the Bay Road towards ECCB Bank. This would create or ease traffic at the intersection and have an easement of the traffic going towards and via each section. Currently, we are doing some civil works in the area, which we are bringing up the material here, sub-base, in layers of 6 to 8 inches and having it compacted. Currently, you could see the guys at the back of us, where they are preparing the area for base material. With that, this road widening, well, the road would be widened at about 44 feet from end to end, from road end to road end. So that should be enough space for traffic to flow freely and easily towards the Bay Road area and from the Bay Road area to the ECC Bank side.
Hazel says he's hopeful that the roadworks project would be completed by the end of this month, May. Reporting for ZIZ News at the Bird Rock Junction, I am Mervan Thompson.
This past weekend, Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Lindsey Grant, was interviewed on Deco Drive on WSVN TV Miami. In the interview, Minister Grant spoke of the highlights visitors to St. Kitts can expect to see, including the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park. He also spoke about the ongoing 5-day getaway promotion with deals from the Park Hyatt St. Kitts Marriott Resort and Four Seasons Resort in Nevis, and noted the Federation's safety and low COVID rates. With 3 weekly flights out of Miami International Airport on American Airlines, Miami remains a major market for St. Kitts, and WSVN TV was selected in order to increase the country's brand awareness in this market through a new channel, Broadcast TV News Integrations. The segment aired twice on Friday evening and re-aired again twice on Saturday morning to more than 83,000 viewers. The interview was also posted on the WSVN Miami website. The St. Kitts Nevis Marine Drone Challenge, hosted by the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association, has been deemed a success following a weekend of competition between 4 schools on island. Chairman and founder of the SKNRA, Dr. Ricardo Neal, said the Marine Drone Challenge went well, and the feedback from the schools has been very positive.
It was a success. We are actually excited. We are doing this for the very first time, and we were able to include 4 schools: Bastia High School, Washington Archibald, CFBC, and SEMS. And so these schools compete against each other, and it came off really, really well. The feedback that we're getting from the school is that they're looking for it to be an annual event and also to include other schools. So we're looking forward for that for 2022.
The Washington Archibald High School was the winner of the challenge, amassing a total of 55 points. In second place was Bastia High with 15 points, and the Charles E. Mills Secondary and Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College tied in third place with 5 points apiece. Dr. Neal said the Washington Archibald High School participants will now move on to an international marine drone competition.
The challenge was it wasn't just for them to be exposed to just drone development. It's for them to feed into the international challenge. So there is a challenge overseas called Sea Perch. Sea Perch is governed by MIT and Stanford and some of those top universities. And so we want the winners here to feed into that international program. So as of next month, we'll be having the winning team participating in the international team, in the international event. Now, it might not be an event where they have to travel, it might be a virtual event, but nevertheless, St. Kitts will be represented as one of the team across the world.
He said the board of directors of the SKNRA has decided that the Marine Drone Challenge will be an annual event.
I'm proud of all of them because they did get their kit a bit close to the event, but they were able to pull it off. So that is something that works really, really well for them. The nature of the challenge is to test their cognitive level, to see how well they can use their thinking skills to solve many problems. And so they were able to prove that. And that is why we have made a decision from the board level to ensure that we have this as an annual event.
The SKNRA Marine Drone Challenge took place from April 30 to May 2. It was guided by the theme, Diving Deep into the Marine Environment, Ensuring Our Country's Development. The St. Kitts Diabetes Association continued its awareness drive this week with another school screening exercise on Thursday at the Charles E. Mills Secondary School. According to a statement, this is a continuation of a project started in March with visits to 5 schools and the testing of 150 students. Data being collected included weight, height, blood pressure, and blood sugar. The statement from the St. Kitts Diabetes Association says, quote, "It is hoped that this project will enable us to identify at-risk children as well as those who may already be diabetic. We're hoping to be able to give the necessary advice and recommendations to those identified as having significant chances of being afflicted with this malady." End quote. The Lions Club and the Ministry of Health were credited as collaborative partners in this venture. Coming up in regional news, Senator in St. Lucia questions wisdom of state of emergency extension. The details when we return.
I wish I knew how to do that. Me too.
Thinking of what to do this Mother's Day?
Boys, put on your shoes. I have a treat for you.
How about you make it a family experience?
But Mommy, where's the treat?
I'm going to teach you how to bake.
With messes and memories. When you shop safe and smart at Value Mart.
Regionally, in St. Lucia, Independent Senator Adrian Augier says government has not said or done enough to justify extending the state of emergency to October. More in this report.
As Independent Senator Adrian Augier puts it, the COVID-19 crisis necessitates a time for strategy for recovery. Only then will the country be on a path to normalcy with achievable targets set along the way. Right now, Senator Augier says the country is in limbo over general elections.
To me, it would be preferable if we could lay out some kind of course that we, as the population, as the economy, as business people, as households, we can have some expectation of what happens between now and, say, October, which is both the deadline for elections as well as coincidentally, the end of the state of emergency.
Prime Minister Alan Chastanet has argued that the state of emergency is necessary to facilitate the curfew to bring down COVID-19 numbers and that it is much easier to cancel than to institute. But Mr. Ogier says this was one of the dangers highlighted when the COVID-19 Prevention Act was being drafted. According to him, government has given abnormal powers to itself with immunity from prosecution and liability.
What we are seeing now is abnormal behavior by the government without due explanation and without reason and without carrying the people along with you in a manner that people feel comfortable with the decisions. So this is abnormal.
Mr. Ogier noted a semblance of economic recovery over the past 6 months, but he says that is insufficient as the country needs to get back to pre-COVID levels. He observed that both government and the masses have been incurring heavy debt. Household savings are depleting as displaced employees dip into their reserves to survive. Unemployment is still incredibly high and the level of destitution is frightening. For the DBS News World, I am Don Nicholas.
In Jamaica, a St. Catherine man rescued from a pit after 3 days of horror recounts how he managed to keep hope alive after becoming a modern-day Joseph left for dead by his fellow men. Despite escaping without physical scars, he sustained emotional wounds, but not enough to keep him down. More in this CVM News report.
It is so nice to put cool water to your mouth and drink. Oh God, it is good.
66-year-old George Smart, who survived the ordeal of being abducted and thrown into a pit for 3 days, locked away from the sun, recalls what he did to get attention.
In the night, I find a plastic drum and a plastic buckle, like a Pepsi buckle. I half fill it with some stone and I use it as a drumstick. And I beat on the plastic drum.
Smart said he would beat the drum at intervals to preserve his energy. However, on Saturday, he heard an unfamiliar sound.
Saturday in the day, I heard a sound. I heard somebody come and make a tap on the top of the manhole. One knock, and that never happened again. So I believe from that point, I was started feeling assured that somebody heard me down there.
Smart says when he was rescued on Sunday, it was as if he was reborn.
The police should be respectable. The police should be respected because they are doing an awesome job. Without the police and the firemen, I would not be able to be here talking to you.
Smart left the pit without injuries. His only medical concern at the time of his rescue, dehydration. The pit was searched for any human remains, but none were found.
It's only God. Only God. Only a miracle. God work a miracle for me. So I know there is one God.
Paige Dixon, CVM Live.
Coming up, India's COVID cases rise by record numbers. International news is next.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy a life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Internationally, India has recorded more than 400,000 new coronavirus infections in a day, again. Hospitals in its richest cities are turning patients away because of a lack of beds. But the situation is even worse in rural areas. Al Jazeera's Elizabeth Purnham reports.
A doctor lies a COVID-19 patient on her stomach so she can breathe more easily and helps her clear her chest. Others try to comfort a man who's in pain. The patients in this hospital in Uttar Pradesh might be suffering, but in a state with only 125 beds for every 100,000 people, they're fortunate to be there. Less than 100 kilometers away from India's capital, New Delhi, residents of one village in Uttar Pradesh tell Al Jazeera 40 people have died in the past 3 weeks. That includes the village pharmacist, who's refused admission to the nearest hospital 90 minutes drive away. His son explains what happened.
Hospital में bed खाली नहीं है, oxygen की problem है.
There were no beds available for him at that hospital. We tried other hospitals in the city, but they refused too. We took him to a nearby hospital in the district as his condition became worse, but there were no ventilators available and the doctor said that he had died. My father was a fit and strong person. He was just 45 years old. If he had treatment and oxygen, then perhaps he would have been alive.
Although Sudhi Kumar's father couldn't find medical care, he was tested for COVID-19, a test others in the village haven't been able to get.
Here people are getting a fever for a few days and suddenly they are dying. Almost every home has a member who's ill. Here, no COVID testing is happening. People are aware of the disease but don't have the means to get themselves tested. To do a test, they need to travel far and that isn't happening. When people are dying without a test, there's no death certificate either.
Rameshwar Singh, who also lives in Chandraval village, says that's how his 80-year-old mother Pulvati died.
She had fever 2 days earlier, and when she heard that my brother had passed away in an accident, she fell further ill. The fever became worse. We couldn't take her to the city hospital. We didn't have time to even try and give her some treatment.
This is the healthcare centre in Chandraval, but it's closed. 65% of India's population lives in rural areas, villages like Chandraval, where there are fewer public hospitals than in the cities. But India is facing a shortage not just of hospital beds and medical supplies, but healthcare workers too.
You can't create ICU beds 400 or 500 like that within few days and within few weeks. So for that you need 10 staff, 10 medical personnel, 10 technicians, 10 and a lot of equipments that cannot be created within days and weeks.
There is only one doctor for every 20,000 people in Uttar Pradesh. Hospitals in India's richest cities, including here in the capital New Delhi, have been completely overwhelmed by the surge in cases. But it's widely believed that the situation is even worse in rural areas where most cases and deaths are underreported because of a lack in testing. Elizabeth Purnham, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.
A hostage standoff at a bank in St. Cloud, Minnesota that played out for more than 8 hours came to a dramatic end with a robbery suspect taken into custody and all of his hostages safely freed. NBC's Kathy Park reports.
8 hours of terror ending in relief after a suspect held 5 people captive at a Wells Fargo bank in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Police officers were called to the bank earlier in the afternoon by a manager.
We received a panic alarm indicating that a bank robbery was in process. Male customer who was disgruntled about a prior transaction.
Then the suspect began to take hostages. Other customers had fled, but 5 employees were stuck. 4 hostages were released, and the 5th made a run for the door.
We had contact with the suspect in every way possible, including writing notes and putting them up against the drive-through window.
Police and FBI eventually entering the bank and capturing the suspect without incident. He was identified as Ray Rico McNeary, who posted on social media during the standoff. He's now in custody and a town breathing easy as the hostages are safe. This morning, authorities and the community are relieved and grateful.
Peaceful resolution, the best possible outcome we could have had.
And McNeary does have a criminal history. Right now, it's not clear if he was armed during the incident, and we've learned law enforcement tried to make contact with him in every way possible, even placing notes against the bank's drive-through window.
Up next in sport, Sandy Point Falcons and Bird Rock Uprisers register wins in SKNA Senior League, and Chelsea dominate Real Madrid to set up All-English Champions League final. Stay tuned.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy a life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
I took the vaccine because I want the in-person audience experience at Sugar Mass 50.
I took the vaccine because I want to be performing with all my peoples on Ultra Truck this year for Carnival.
I get vaccinated because I want to be on the road for Sugar Mass 50.
The reason I chose to be vaccinated because of my profession as an entertainer was to have a safer Boyta Carnival.
I am DJ Flame and I got vaccinated because I want Sugar Mass 50 to be greater than ever.
I took the vaccine because I miss entertaining thousands of people and I miss hosting my own events. See you at Sugar Mass 50. Boom.
Get vaccinated quickly to turn up Sugar Mass 50.
We now take a look at sport. We begin with basketball. The SKNABA National Bank Senior League continued on Thursday with 2 games. In the first game, E&K Minimart Sandy Point Falcons defeated Upfront Ballers 108-86. For Falcons, Chavez Belbora made 27 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 steals. Leston Wilshire 15 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Zyreek Herbert, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals. For Upfront, Justin Bart made 28 points, 2 rebounds, 5 steals, 2 assists. Yamel Nunez, 20 points, and 12 rebounds. In the second game, Farm Care Bird Rock Uprisers, down by 15 points going into the last quarter, defeated Atiba Harris St. Peter's Runners 99-94. For Bird Rock, Jared Keynes made 29 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals. Tequan Rogers, 23 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 steals. And Colin Harrigan, 23 points, 3 assists, 2 steals. For Runners, Ranique Nichols made 22 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. Ozani Purcell, 21 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals. And Laquani James, 17 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. The league continues on Saturday with 2 games. At 6:30 p.m., it's Challengers Exodus versus defending champs M&D Construction Inner City Conquerors. And then at 8:30, Ghetto Roots will take on Youth and Sports Eagles. Sunday's games at 6:30, K-On Lions versus Blueprint Construction St. Paul's Tough Nuts. At 8:30, ASC Wolfpack versus Rams Hitters. We now move to international football, where Chelsea set up an All-English Champions League final against Manchester City as goals from Timo Werner and Mason Mount beat Real Madrid 2-0 on Wednesday to seal a 3-1 aggregate victory at Stamford Bridge. Here's more.
There's no place like home to settle the score. Tied 1-1 after their first leg, Chelsea were desperate to stay on top. And it was a night of total domination for the Blues at Stamford Bridge.
I thought we maybe blew it at times because we should have probably been 4-0 up with about an hour gone and should have been going home. But typical Chelsea, they leave it late.
This is what football's about. You compete on equal terms and you win and you deserve it. And that's what's going to happen in Istanbul for us.
A first-half header saw Timo Werner open the score in front of an empty goal, but that wasn't without threats from Karim Benzema, whose efforts were brilliantly saved by Edouard Mendy. Mason Mount finally managed to power the ball into the back of the net to make it 2-0 and secure Chelsea's third-ever Champions League final. An outstanding effort for newly appointed coach Thomas Tuchel, who was fired from PSG in December and has turned Chelsea's season around.
You know that you play on the edge with Real Madrid, you can always score a goal. But again, we managed to have a clean sheet, and it was again well deserved with a strong goalkeeper and guys who were really committed to defend. So we will arrive with self-confidence and with a positive energy in Istanbul, and hopefully with everybody, no injured players, and we will arrive in Istanbul to win.
Chelsea's victory sets up an all-English final for the third time. They'll go on to face Manchester City, who've made it very clear a Champions League title is their ultimate goal.
When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines. Stay with us.
The Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris, wants to alert the public about fake Facebook and social media accounts that are circulating. These sites may look genuine, but they're not. These fake sites may use the Prime Minister's photo and name, but their only intention is to spread misinformation through false and scandalous information. Some of these pages are scams and will attempt to dupe you out of money. Do not trust them. You can find the real Prime Minister Harris on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by searching for his official handle, which is @PMHarrisKN. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages that claim to be the Prime Minister's but do not have PM Harris KN right after the /, are fake accounts. These should be reported to the respective social media sites. You can also report fake social media accounts to presssec@gov.kn. That's PRESSEC@gov.kn. Facebook has verified Prime Minister Harris's official page by placing a white check mark inside a blue circle next to the Prime Minister's name, Dr. the Honourable Timothy Harris. This blue circle appears just above @PMHarrisKN. Also, be alert. If the person claiming to be either the Prime Minister or another government official asks you for money through instant messenger, direct message, or any other means, this is a scam and not a real charity. This public service announcement was produced in order to help you be an informed social media user. Protect yourself and help spread the message.
We now wrap up with a recap of the top stories. Cost reduced for a 9-day quarantine at Ocean Terrace Inn. Local physician speaks on the process of vaccine production. And Tourism Ministry hosts training for Clarence Fitzroy Brand College students. And that's it for the ZIZ Major Newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jason Davis.